that was a bit more than I expected. Okay, I have no idea if anybody is watching me or not. But here we are again, doing some more baking to raise money for Sands. And I actually have a list of how much I'm baking this time round, because I've just got an awful lot actually, which is a bit surprising. Oh, it doesn't look like anybody's watching yet, so that's all right. We'll see if anybody comes along this time. It worked last time, we got quite a few of you. But I know there's quite a lot going on today because it's an Empire weekend. Anyway, let's have a... Right. Just gently pottering last time, really. Like I said, there's a lot of bakes this time. And it was Charlotte who got the special bake, which means that I'm going to do not just my usual shouting 442 at the camera, but also do a Genoese sponge, which gave me the idea for next month, because we're doing vanilla next month, that I'm actually going to do different types of sponges, which I'm looking forward to doing. Right, okay, so I'm going to start off as ever with the vegan stuff. Yeah, we've got full-on vegan this time. And the gluten-free stuff, which are going to be the boring sponges. I'm going to do, like I said, a Genoese, but I am also going to do an oil cake, which is refined sugar-free, which means first thing I'm going to do is get the honey on to melt. So I've got a whole load of honey, but it's crystallised. So I'm going to make a not real bain-marie. I don't think I've ever actually seen a real bain-marie, to be honest. Every time I've needed to melt chocolate or, whatever I'm doing, I've just used a faked one. I believe that there are specialist equipment to melt things. It sounds weird, to be honest. I know I've got somebody watching. I've no idea who you are. If you fancy commenting, then I can actually write back to you because I've got a phone and everything. Mind you, last time that happened, I had to keep checking the Sands page as well. And I have a feeling that I might get a couple of donations in today as the stream goes ahead. My mum got in earlier. Somebody's trying to call me. No, I'm not answering. Leave a message if it's important. My mum got in earlier and said, "Oh, would you mind doing an extra lemon drizzle?" Like, yeah, that's all right. Lemon drizzle. Known by many of my friends as lemon swamp cake. I'm not delicate enough. I'm not a delicate person. Really. I definitely don't make delicate cakes. I'd love to make delicate cakes. I'd love to be, airy and light and femmy and I'm very chunky. I like cakes that are, solid in some way. Okay, first finger in mouth of the day. What are we into? We're into first 5 freaking minutes. Okay. Once again, you're going to see me washing my hands a lot, I think. It's just going to be constant hand washing. Right. I've had a lot of people actually this time round. There we go. Had a lot of people this time around just decide to give me money for the bakes. Oh, there we go. Right. Me and one other person. All right, I suspect you're Weasel. You're either Weasel or you're Tabby. No, if it was Weasel, he'd have commented. Okay, so probably not Tabby, actually. She's got other things to do today. I don't know. It's a bit weird. Who are you, mystery watcher? Who are you and what are you expecting? Fiona, it's not you, is it? Could be anybody. Ah, okay, yes. So, expect an afternoon of me trying to get honey out of jars. I might just leave that to drip. Okay. I do need to get the honey ready, but I don't need it to be... Oh my god, that's just solid. Right, okay. Right, put that to one. Oh no, I could feel it going in. I could see me putting it in my mouth, and I just couldn't stop myself. My littlest nephew has more self-control of what he puts in his mouth than I do. Oh, and he eats snot. Right, okay, so I've got that set up. I need to do this next. So I'm going to be prepping some herbs and spices and those because, well, why not? But no, lemon cake, like we've got some fresh thyme and we're using poppy seeds and rosemary and all sorts. So I'm just doing a whole load of pre-prepped stuff first. And then we'll get on to the actual bakes. So the first few bakes, actually, I am going to be shouting my standard ratios at you, to be honest. But yeah, we're doing a whole load of different bakes this afternoon. As I said, so I'm most excited because I'm doing a Genoese sponge. Because I normally do my standard Victoria sponge is a type of sponge called a butter sponge. And I use it for everything. Because frankly, why would I not? You know, it's a nice, simple, it's in my head, I don't need to think too much about it. Job's a good one. Sponge recipe that I can just flavour with anything. And I do. But I do make other cakes from time to time. And when I worked out what I was going to do for the special bake, I'll show you actually. I'll show you, the one person who is watching me. I think I need to tie my hair thing a bit tighter actually. Yeah, so obviously when we decided to do the special bake last month, we decided, there we go. I was like, well, I don't really want to do the rabbit again because I did the chocolate rabbit. I was like, oh, I do have a cake tin though that I don't use that often. I've opened the wrong cupboard. There's a reason I don't use it that often because it's not so much of a cake tin as a cake mould. Yes, it's another rabbit. I like rabbits. People know I like rabbits. But try and put a normal Victoria sponge in that and it doesn't take the shape as well. So I'm going to do a Genoese sponge. And a Genoese sponge... No! Oh! Why? I see a honey crystal. I pick it up. Goes in the mouth. So, yes, I'm going to do a Genoese sponge, and that got me thinking. basically that I could do with having a few more sponges sort of in my back pocket. With a Victoria sponge, it covers your absolute basics really nicely. But to be frank, there are occasionally times when you could do with knowing how to do a Genoese without thinking too much about it. And there are times when yeah, there are times when you could do with learning how to do a Genoese without thinking about it. And I don't know. I suppose I do know how to make an angel food cake, but I am not so as that I can do it without thinking about it. So that's my plan today. Do an angel food cake. Not today, next month. Do an angel food cake. And then I asked for suggestions from a whole load of mates. And one of them watches a whole load of Bake Off. And so obviously he said, oh, what about a cake lapis? And I was like, oh, I vaguely know what you're talking about. So, there we go. I was like, okay, no, I can do a cake lapis. Probably. So that's next month's special bake. So if you're first to donate in May, and it has to be in May, so you can't just donate now and say it's for next time if you want the special bake. First donate in May gets to watch me making the most freaking convoluted Malaysian sponge cake in the world ever. And we'll see how it goes. But having prepped that, I'm going to do my vegan bake. This is going to be gluten-free as well. The first 3 bakes today are going to be gluten-free. This one is not going to be FODMAPs friendly. Normally, I automatically do my gluten-free FODMAPs friendly because it's for my girlfriend who has issues. But I did a whole load of taste testing with some vegan and all sorts of dietary restricted friends. And before we worked out that she needed to avoid foods high in FODMAPs, I'm not sure how you say it. Right, 442. It's one of my normal ratio cakes. Before we discovered that, I was experimenting with egg substitutes because we worked out that eggs no. And she and one of the easiest things to substitute eggs with is applesauce. Which obviously if you're on a low FODMAPs diet it doesn't really work. But if you're vegan, it really does work. And that was what they used to use in, let's go. That was what they used to use in World War II. Which was pretty cool. Because they couldn't get eggs, because rationing is the thing. There's a whole load, if you look at World War II cookbooks, and you're like, I have to cut out XYZ from my diet, how do I do? World War II cookbook, they say this. Now, some of the substitutions are frankly, no, just don't go there. But a lot of them are perfectly reasonable. Okay, so 442, which means 4 sugar, 4 flour, 4 butter, because it's 4442. 2 eggs. Once again, I'll be teasing my sister about the inordinate amount of eggs that she needs to have in to feel secure in her nest, but I probably shouldn't do that, to be honest. It's not like she's going to watch this. I mean, I also have to admit, actually, she has a thing about needs to have eggs in. For my kitchen preferences, it's all about lemons, which is good considering that this month I'm baking lemon cake. Okay, so we've got sugar, we've got flour, and it's a vegan cake, so we do not want butter. Nor do we want natural yogurt, or chicken, or any of the million of things that are trying to leap into my hands. What we want is plant-based deliciousness, apparently. Sure, why not? Okay. And it's Vitalite, so it leaves me with the urge to sing, because I was brought up on the TV in the 80s. Anybody else get the urge to sing with Vitalite? Oh, hello, Fiona. Oh, no! Your reminder didn't go off, but you're here. It's all good. Yeah, YouTube reminders can be a bit weird, can't they? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Anybody else get the urge to sing if they see the word Vitalite, or is it just me? There's 3 of you watching now, so, you know, shove me an answer in the chat. Vitalite. Yeah, no, it's really bad, isn't it? Okay, again, which is going to come in as a problem for the Genoese, but I will solve it by using something inappropriate for the job. I don't have an electric whisk. I am saving up for an electric whisk. I was baking with my sister and her sons, my nephews. I said her nephews, because my uterus is shock. I was baking with my sister yesterday. We do this thing where we bake on Zoom, so I end up with a whole load of cakes, so does she. My neighbours freaking love me. I popped round to Mike's and I don't knock on Mike's door because he's got a dog that is a rescue. I'm like, I don't want to make the dog freak out. So I text him, and usually I manage to time it really well. I drop round. Just as he's sort of obviously working from home and going, I should have some tea. Oh, and Mish has dropped off. In this case, Mish has dropped off some banana rotis, except they weren't bananas. Because I told my sister I had bananas in, but I didn't, so I substituted apple for banana. Right, when you're substituting applesauce for eggs, I do it entirely by eye. I do it so, does it look like I've got 2 eggs in there? It's really scientific. I think if you Google it, you can probably find like weight or cup equivalents. But I'm doing as much the same as I did last time I did it for the taste test. And they were really impressed with how moist it is, which I'm pretty sure is down to the amount of applesauce that I shove in. Anyway, the reason I substituted applesauce for mashed bananas yesterday is because that's another potential substitute for eggs. We were making cookies, so I knew I didn't need it to rise particularly. They were oaties, so apple and oats go pretty well together. It's fine. And it's not like my nephews could tell over Zoom that, she's using applesauce. Of course, now I've put it on the internet. It's like me doing the blooming Scottish accents last time. Mish doesn't want anyone to know about that. It's a super secret thing. Put it on the internet, Mish, quick. Right, okay, so that's a good mix. Next thing. Obviously, I'm doing just all of the lemon bakes today. So I've got a shit ton of lemons in. That's imperial old measures, not metric shit ton. And yeah, so I will be adding lemon zest and such. I'm going to actually add it to the bake, and then at various points I'm also going to be adding some thyme. Later on I'm going to be adding rosemary because and poppies and stuff, because I wanted to do something interesting, and there we go. And yeah, it's way more interesting to do like some herbs and bits and pieces. So yeah, hopefully. There we go. So it's not just straight. There we go. Things. It gives me something a bit more interesting to do anyway. And like, you know, thyme and rosemary and stuff, just, it brings out a slightly different depth of flavour to the cakes. You've never heard the Vitalite song. You are so young, Fiona. You're just seriously young. I mean, yeah, last time I think we had an average age of 40 on the stream, so you are a youngling, you are tiny. We ended up talking about Beowulf and your mum last time. It's a very cultured stream. I don't think we've got a weasel this time, so we're all good. Right, okay, I think that should be quite moist vegan cakes. So let's shove some. I want to keep the vegan cakes separate from Elmer Bakes, so I'm putting them in on their own while I get on with other baking. I don't want to say, oh yeah, I made you vegan bakes, which I then rubbed with animal products, because you know that's just not nice. Right, let's see. Vegan. Clearly, vegans. No, I don't have that many green bake. Blue. Let's go with blue for veganisms. Okay. So yeah. So the next couple of sponges are going to be my usual 442. And they're butter sponges. Butter sponges, obviously, have butter in them. The other sort of sponge, or the main other sort of sponge, is a frothy sponge cake. I'm sure they're called something else actually, but the main thing with them is you beat the hell out of eggs to froth them up, and that's where the I don't know how to describe it, the lift mechanism comes from. To be honest, I think it's more to do with the formation of crumb, actually, because butter sponges, they've got a very particular kind of a chunky crumb. When I say crumb, I mean like the actual, if you crumble the cake, the sort of pieces into which the cake naturally crumbles is the crumb, unsurprisingly. Wow. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about with the butter. You've got a chunky mish sort of type crumb. With a frothy cake, you get a smaller crumb. I cannot remember if a Madeira is a frothy cake, but that's a problem for next month's mish. Oh, right in the mouth. I mean, at least it wasn't freaking margarine or something this time. I think I've set up the camera this time so that you can see me every time I go to wash my hands. That is a problem. Right, I am gonna... I have seen something. 31 doesn't feel young. I'm 40 next year, mate. And you're such a baby. I'm not such a baby in a bad way. It's adorable. Okay, right. Shove this in for 25 minutes or so. And I've noticed my phone is almost out of battery, so I'm just going to get a power cable for that, and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. With power cable for my phone so I can keep talking to you lovely people. There we go. Nice. Right, okay, so I'm really glad I made a list this time. Okay, we are now up to the 2 gluten-free bakes. So this is the point where I start shouting ratios a lot. Because I'm going to do double the amount, so when the vegan cakes come out, I'll probably put the gluten-free buns in. And after the gluten-free buns, then I make the Madeleine. It's a Genoese. It's not a Madeleine unless it's actually several small buns. And it's not. It's one large bun. Like this. See? Bun. I'm hilarious. Okay. Right. What am I doing? It's a 4-4-4-2. What do I start with? Start with sugar and butter. Okay, so we're going to do an 8. Because there's a whole heck of a lot of you who have donated this month, because apparently lemon is the flavour that it's at. And I'm going to do something a little bit different when it comes to... Oh, 12. How many buns have I got to make? Madeleines have got to be lactose free. Fuck it, let's do 12. I'm going to do a whole load of different 12, divide in 2, and then I've got the gluten-free poppy seed buns done. Yes, I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm tripling this recipe. Good job, I've got my ratios in my head. 12. 12. Okay, so first we cream the butter and the sugar. 12 ounces of each. 4. I'm terrified by the amount that I can apparently do this by eye. Maybe you can bake it for a little longer than, I just thought, right, that sugar's... I don't know, like, apparently Mum taught us baking to get us to practice numbers and maths and stuff. Good idea, really. But, like, it was also apparently her way of getting my sister to read. And, like, Jen never knew this. So she just decided she really liked baking. And, like, she is amazing. She should be on frickin' Bake Off or something. Like, she would rock. Okay. Right. Okay. There's a hole in that bag. Right, so we are creaming a whole heck of a lot of butter and sugar. Again, I'm going to reiterate this month that I like the creaming thing. I think it makes for a nice smooth cake. And it probably doesn't matter so much if you've got an electric whisk, but as you can see, I do not. I need a bigger spoon This is actually getting slightly ridiculous. No, no, not in the mouth, not in the mouth, not in the mouth. It's not going in the mouth. Not got in the mouth. Did you see that, guys? I stopped myself from licking my finger. I don't know how long it's going to last. The finger did not go in the mouth. Okay. So, yeah, we're creaming that up nicely. And this is for our gluten-free bakes. So, quite good. I'm going to divide the mixture in two at least. You'll see. Let's check the time that went in. Okay. I've been nattering to you lot for half an hour. Fine. There's a lot of bakes today. There really is. I think a lot of people went, oh, cake! And it's for a good cause. Good job done. Okay. But yeah, again, I'm doing the doing most of the sort of ingredient-free things first. I'm not doing the sugar-free one until later because that's not so much I'm allergic to other ingredients as I'm just not putting sugar in. Whereas for the vegan and gluten-free stuff, I'd rather do that at the beginning so that there's less possibility of cross-contamination. Okay, what am I doing? So 12. I have creamed, butter and sugar. Now I add actual eggs, not applesauce. Okay, some actual eggs. So I've tripled the recipe. Yes, but the thing with eggs is I probably won't actually triple the eggs. I learned over the years doing like large bakes. If you just go up, so from a 4-4-4-2, it would go up to a 12-12-6. Apparently maths is hard today. Probably only going to put 5 in because actually that would make it really liquidy. Presumably because eggs aren't really a standard size. I don't know how Heston Blumenthal does all this, thing where he's like, it's a science. Well, it kind of is, Heston, but also, like, you get things like eggs, which are, come out of chickens. But there's no, like, I don't know how much science there can be behind eggs because they come in all sorts of different sizes. And anyway. I'm going to grate some lemon into that partly to give my hands a different movement to do. I am a little concerned about the fatigue today. I have been lying down in preparation for this. I have had a holiday this week, actually. I've not been at work all week, which has been rather nice. I'm more than happy to spend a week of a lot of it's been sleeping, actually. I popped down to see some people near Chester and popped down and gave my sister some things that she'd left up here. That apparently the kids are now starting to they've been up here for a year, but it's now getting to a stage where the kids are starting to fight over the fact that they only have one set of steps. So, alright, legit. Okay, so that's 3 eggs in there, and I'm mixing them a little more slowly. I'm going to transfer to the big bowl, actually, because otherwise I'll just end up slopping this everywhere. Right. Somebody decided to do 3 times the mix, because obviously she did. Yeah, so I'm actually probably going to divide this into thirds at some point. and do one lot with thyme, one lot plain, and one lot with poppy seeds. Just because I want to give... Didn't even know my mouth when I'm washing my hands. How good is that? That's like adult behaviour there. What was I saying? Adult behaviour, and then I tip the washing liquid into the bowl. Oh yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, gently mixing eggs in. I am a little bit concerned about fatigue. Oh, I am really disjointed today, aren't I? There's less of you watching. Yeah, random disjointed ramblings of a mish. Do you really want to watch that for an afternoon? Probably not. Mind you, it was weird the amount of people we got last time. Okay, so I'm going to pop that into wash as well. Yes, tune in for the fabulous mish pottering around the kitchen. I think it was probably quite relaxing to watch, because I know Sammy thinks I'm relaxing to watch. I suspect actually watching somebody do something normal and potter around the kitchen in the middle of a pandemic is pretty like, oh no, this is good, this is normal. But as things are sort of starting to calm down in the UK, I can imagine just like, let's get out, do things, not watch me ramble on YouTube. But hey, it's all good. Right, okay. I've added 3 eggs. I need to add some more eggs. Definitely one more. Have a look. Okay. But yeah, no. Like, you don't add 6 eggs. Which I found out by trial and error of doing really big things. I was like, it's gotten really sloppy. And you sort of want the mixture to act like you would want the mixture to at a smaller scale. Yeah, so okay, apparently I'm going to add 4 eggs because I'm a little nervous about adding another egg. I might see how dry it gets after I've added the flour, and then I might make a different call. But okay, let's go with that. Right. Okay, so 12 of gluten-free flour. And after that, I'm going to do the Madeleine's recipe, which I'm a little bit nervous about, to admit. Keep calling it Madeleine recipe. Madeleines are small cakes. They are not large bunny rabbit. It's Genoese sponge, I believe. I mean, if anybody knows any better, feel free to correct me. I simply say that which I believe to be the case. If I am not, contrary to Fiona's opinion last month, Mary Berry. But yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a nice loose sort of mixture actually. Right, see if I can get any more zest off this poor lemon. I do want to make sure it is quite lemony. I am going to be cheating at times during this afternoon baking by using some flavouring. Mostly, I'm probably going to use the flavouring of the lemon juice itself. Yeah, I've got enough lemons. I do like lemons. It's a weird thing, as I've been teasing my sister pretty mercilessly about her thing with eggs. And then I was sort of thinking, actually, I don't need there to be lots, but I do need a kitchen to have lemon and ideally fresh ginger each as well. Which possibly makes me some sort of snobby middle class bit. I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. Right. That's a little bit of lemon juice added, and this is the gluten-free bake. There we go. That's really moving very easily. Flour, sugar, butter, eggs. That is a cake. Okay. Right, so I'm going to divvy these up into 3 lots of mixture. It's going to look roughly even Stevens. And shove in some poppy seeds and some thyme. Because, yeah. Just to give people a little bit of variety in the bakes. Because we have 3 gluten-free people. I'm going to mix and match the vegan cakes with as well. Right, okay. So, I mean, I say it's for the people. It's totally for me. It's like, I don't want to be bored. I want to challenge myself. Oh, I haven't told you about the challenge I've decided to do for next time. So, I asked for suggestions for what types of sponges. Somebody suggested Kek Lapis, because too much bake-off, obviously. Now, Kek Lapis, I thought I knew what it was, but I had to sort of double check. It's the one that they cook in Malaysia, where they grill the cake. Yeah. So you make this thing in layers, and you pour it into the tin, and you grill it. You grill said cake. God, this smells amazing, and if I can smell it, it's proper good, because my sense of smell is shit. And wow, there's so much birdsong today. So Kek Lapis, you pour a small amount into the bun tin and you grill it. And that's how you make it. Okay, so this is a lemon and thyme bun mix for my gluten-free people. There we go. And this is going to be poppy seed one for all my gluten-free people. And then we've got a normal one for my gluten-free people. Because, you know, I may as well give you something interesting to eat. It seemed churlish to do elsewise. Quite a lot of poppy seed there. I might over seed this. Lemon and poppy seeds. Some lemon in there, I swear. Okay. Smelling quite lemony actually, so that's a good sign. Most of the lemon bit of the lemon drizzle tends to come in the drizzle. But obviously yours truly does not have a delicate hand, so it kind of... There's a reason my friends call them lemon swamp cakes. They are somewhat swamped by all that drizzle. Just want to make sure it tastes proper lemony. I'm loving the scent of the Thyme Buns. I'm really hoping that they keep that scent after they've cooked. I'm using fresh thyme. I have no idea if that's going to be good or less good for cakes than dried thyme. I'm hoping, it's going to be good. Right, we'll see. Okay, let's start loading up some bun capers. Well, let's check on the vegan buns, actually. Okay, they could do with a little bit longer. I need to pay more attention to actually what even time is. Okay, not blue, please. Because blue is what we did for vegan. Nice. So let's do some Mexican colours. Oh. Yeah, that was weird. I got told I was appropriative because I have a Mexican party every summer. I mean, I say it's a Mexican party. It's a party at which I serve Mexican salsas to put on people's burgers. I'm not sure that by cooking Mexican salsa, I'm appropriating a deep part of Mexican culture. I'm pretty sure I'm not. I am beginning to think the word appropriative is being overused a bit. But I could be wrong. Right, so we've got normal lemon going in the yellow bun cases because that makes sense to me. Slightly concerned by just the ease at which this is sliding. Oh no! Oh, it's really lemony though. I really like lemon flavours. I think lemon is just, yes, I like the smell of it. I like the, I didn't think it was appropriative. It was a bit weird. Oh, look. We are being joined by someone. Hello, Tabby. You are live. Streaming across the internet, Fiona can see you. Yeah, it tastes really, I like the smell of lemons. I like the taste, I like the flavour. They perk me right up. She didn't say anything, did she? Silence as the ninja. She came into my kitchen. And again, straight in the mouth. Straight in the bottom mouth. Oh. See, it's interesting. The appropriative thing got me thinking because one thing I'd really love to do when I'm in a country is learn how to cook or do some cooking there. And so the idea that the act of learning how to cook something and what the flavours and the base flavours of a particular country's food is was quite like, concerning. I mean, I wasn't in Thailand very long, so my understanding of Thai cuisine is frankly shit. But I'm pretty good with Japanese now, and I'm very, very proud of my Mexican stuff. I am actually also listening to a podcast called Cooking in Mexican from A to Z. Throwing them out again. Which is really, really good. And I'm learning a lot more nuances than I've picked up before about Mexican cooking. And I really like Mexican flavour profiles and whatnot. Oh, thank you, Lee. Yes, I'm quite pleased with it. It's sort of midway through because all of my house is always midway through. Right, so gluten-free. Half of the gluten-free bakes are going in the oven. Let's see where the vegan cakes are at. Okay, vegan cakes are coming out, I think. Just going to poke them with a skewer. Let's check that they're actually done. Yeah, find where my skewers have gone. Yeah, they're fine. It's that whole make sure that no mixture comes out on your metal skewer and they're actually done all the way through. I can't remember the name of that test. I think it's got a name. Right, okay, shove this at the back and then we'll get the vegan buns out to cool. The second half of the gluten-free lot in, and then we are sorted, and then I start the complex bakes and the Genoese sponge that I'm going to try to put in the cake mould, which is quite interesting. Just a reminder that yes, I am doing this for charity. I am doing this for Sans. Unlike those of you who tuned in for my Alzheimer's bake, I'm not going to be peppering the feed with occasional stories and things, because I like to be funny and cheerful, and you just can't be with neonatal death. You really can't. It's pretty horrible. So, yes. Occasionally when I do the washing of my hands, I say occasionally, every 5 minutes when I stick a finger in my mouth, you will get reminded of what charity we're doing this for. Please feel free to donate to my page, which should have a link in the description of the YouTube video, because you know I'm special. And if you live in Lancaster, I will hopefully add you onto the bake for today. If you live a little further away, then I will probably suggest that you add on to next month, which is my vanilla bake. If you don't fancy vanilla, then my final month, I am still debating the theme. So if people fancy giving me some suggestions for what you might want to see baked in a month. So I've already done chocolate, I'm afraid. You have missed chocolate, that was last month. This month, obviously, lemon. Next month, vanilla, and I'm going to do a whole load of weird-ass sponges. We'll see how that goes. So that's May, and then June has yet to be decided. So, yes, I did just manage to lick my fingers. I'm not wearing my charity t-shirt. I've just realised that. 1 second. So you cannot see the logo. Give me a sec. Okay, that oversight has now been corrected. I'm now wearing my charity t-shirt so that you do get reminded about why we are doing this. I can't remember what I was saying, to be honest. Right, okay. Yes, it went straight in my mouth, didn't it? And then, yeah, we'll put that on. Madeleines. Yeah. But the final month, June, hasn't been decided on the flavour. So if you've got any suggestions, go for it. Right. Let's do this. Okay. Now, I enjoy doing these random rambling background Mish's pottering around the kitchen videos. Mostly because last year, when everyone was very, very bored and desperate for content, people enjoyed them. And also because I frickin' talk to myself while I'm cooking. So much. So at least I can pretend that I'm talking to you lot. Hello, Ninja. She's back again, people. She's staying out in line with the camera. It's only taken her 20 years, but she's learnt how to... Yes. Pour that kettle for the viewers. Pour it. Look at that. That's the content you pay for. I'm slightly scared of you now, darling. Right. And I forget what I was babbling away at now because she's interrupted me. So anything, anything could have been coming out of my mouth. I was talking about pretending that talking to myself is actually talking to a camera. But yeah, if I provide a nice little babbling mish noise for your Saturday afternoon, I am not going to object. Okay, mish babble. Right. Now, I have done gluten-free and vegan, and I can chill out a bit, because cross-contamination and all that sort of thing. Okay, and I have helpfully put them in different baking cases, so everything should be fine. So next, I'm going to do the Madeleine. I keep calling it Madeleine recipe. I mean, technically, yes, it is a Madeleine sponge, but it's only a Madeleine. As far as I know, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, it's only a Madeleine if you put it in a Madeleine tin. Otherwise, it's basically a Genoese sponge. I think. We will find out. I mean, I've said this. I am not a baking master. I'm probably entirely misusing names, clutching onto random words that sound about right. But yes. Okay, strawberry. It's not a bad idea. I like something that gives me some variety to cook with. Just thinking, does strawberries do that? I could do summer fruits, because there's a whole heck of a lot of things that gives potential for. I was well gutted actually, because I was just thinking summer fruits, and that led me to thinking about pavlova, which is not a cake, so I won't be doing. But there's a lovely lemon meringue cake which requires meringue icing, which of course I can't do because I don't have a blowtorch. Why I don't have a blowtorch? I mean, I don't have a cake mixer, so I don't think that getting a blowtorch is really my next priority, to be honest. Right. There we go. Try and get the honey out. So one side is actually slightly more runny than the other. Okay, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pop this in the water without heat underneath it. I hope the honey will warm up. The last cake of the day is the honey one. So. I'm mostly, a lot of the Discord server stuff has been, as I'm on a number of Discord servers, and one of the really cool things that we were doing sort of mid-lockdown was playing Minecraft. And I'd be playing Minecraft, and the others would be playing Final Fantasy, but they'd have my Minecraft streaming in the background because it's just such nice, I don't know, ticking over sounds. But yeah, mundane stuff in the midst of high stress. I think, yeah, it's really good. You just hang out, you do the stuff. Okay. So I am about to start the slightly scary recipe. Slightly scary because it's so familiar. But before I do that, I want to pop on some mixed fruits. I'm making a tea loaf that's not part of the charity bake, but I need to soak the fruits in tea for a chunk of time. There we go. Job's a good one. Here's some tea, magically. I prepared earlier. Which is why I'm putting them on now, because I prepared it earlier, but it was too hot to soak the fruits in. Okay, so that's an interruption to your regularly scheduled bake over and done with. Now we are looking at a possibly Genoese sponge. And Lee, I don't think you were on the stream earlier when I showed what the special bake was going to be. Yes, this is a cake mould. Yes, I am terrified. So, the reason that we're doing a recipe that isn't my usual Victoria sponge is because a Victoria sponge has a chunky crumb. Okay. Which isn't conducive to cake moulds. Okay, so I want 4.5 ounces of sugar. That looks like 4.5 ounces to me. Okay. And 3 eggs. Okay, so this is one of those frothy cakes. As I was saying earlier, you've got butter sponges and you've got something that I call frothy sponges. I'm sure there's a better name for them. They might be called like liquid cakes or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, there we go. And because I have to get this very frothy, I'm going to start out obviously with a fork, because I'm about to use a soup blender for purposes that no soup blender should be used. Because there's no way I'm going to get massively frothy eggs and sugar by hand with chronic fatigue. It's just me. I mean, I could possibly do it, but then I've got a whole load of other things to bake today, and I actually want to do stuff tomorrow. So how about we pay attention to my body? Not that I am often very good at that. Although, chronic illness, nothing like a chronic illness to make you realise how to listen to your own body. But that was fun. So I'm in therapy again at the moment. Hi, you're going to get so much random stuff. It is indeed a bunny! So good. So I'm using a hand blender. What I should be using is a mixer. So mixers and blenders do things very differently. You'd get more air in if this was a proper cake mixer. Oh, however, or is sort of like a particular type of drip that I think I've got. Okay, so we're good. Right. Okay, so, and in a separate bowl, we'll mix some flour and some zest. I think I'm using all 3 bowls for this particular bake. This is the one that's going in the bunny, and this is the special bake for Charlotte. Oh, hello, Jono. How are you doing? Actually, yes, Jono's here. It's just reminded me that I wanted to double check my Sans donation page because I want to know if I need to add in some extra bakes. Let's have a look. So occasionally I do. Where is my Sans page? Who knows? There we go. Okay. So let's have a look. Yeah, I thought I'd have a couple more donors. Right, what have we got? Show me the donors, Sans. Show me the donors. No, I'm serious, Sans. I need to know who's donates this. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I thought you would, Jono. You're accounted for. And yes, so is my mother. Oh, and Lee. Okay. Lee, you're going to need to tell me. Oh, actually, no, you are too far away. So you are going to get... yes, there we go. Current cake options. Okay, so do you want a lemon swamp loaf? Do you want some lemon buns, possibly involving white chocolate? Do you want lemon honey cake? If you don't specify, I'll get you a mixture of buns. No, you don't get the Genoese. Sorry, that's the special bake. I do a special bake for the first person to donate every month. And that was Charlotte this month, so I'm doing a Genoese in the shape of a rabbit. I'm only doing one of those. Okay, flour and zest in a separate bowl. So I'm on the Genoese right now. And that's 7 ounces of plain flour. Got loads of self-raising. Yeah, fuck it. Okay, let's do 7 ounces of self-raising and not put baking powder in, because I'm sure adapting a recipe that I'm not totally familiar with won't go wrong at all. Okay. Yeah, no, I assumed you were going to want lemon swamp loaf. I'd kind of planned to make it for you. Okay, so 7 ounces of... there we go. Yeah. 7 ounces of flour. Yeah, I've got poppy seeds and thyme and all sorts of things going on. And I'm doing some funky things with fairy cakes for Bill and Ozzy as well. Okay. 7 ounces of flour and lemon zest. The zest of 1 lemon. I have so many lemons. So many lemons. You are very predictable, darling. But then I'm getting quite proud of my ability to know what my friends' tastes are in baking and food and whatnot. I was very proud back when I NPC'd for Future's End and did God for them. That so doing God basically involved also tending bar. Because you sort of sign people in as general operations desk at the start of the event, and then occasionally they'd have queries, and you'd be running a bar, also as an NPC, so it wasn't this weird LARP thing where drinks for posterity appear. My God, I know people's drinks orders. It's slightly weird. It's only happened twice now, but I have met you know, the same people LARPing as other characters in bars in different universes and gone, yes, would you like, by any chance, a gin and tonic with a twist of lime? Oh, I think you take your tea like this, do you not? And I'm like, yes, how strange. I was like, yes, you look like that sort of person. But yeah, in the real world, away from this roleplay fantasy, I do like knowing, oh yeah, Jono likes lemon drizzle cake. Or, you know, Lou will murder for many things that I cook for them. I have them. I have great skills. Okay, so we've got the frothy egg, which I am nervous about. So I'm just going to zhuzh up a bit. I really need to save up for a KitchenAid. So jealous of my sisters. Unbelievable. Right, so we've got this, we've got that of the dry stuff. And then we've got honey, milk and butter mix. God damn it. I don't think this was the only thing I needed the honey for. Oh no, I've got the honey cake later. Okay, so 3/4 of an ounce of honey. Okay, yeah, I can do that, no problem. Okay. Right. Let's try and get the most liquidy bits of this honey. God. Actually, there are some quite... I am restraining myself so bad from looking like English right now. I'm like, they've gone straight in some of the crystalline bits of the honey, and I'm like, I want to lick. Please, mind, let me lick. I want to lick so bad. Okay, try and get the really liquidy bits. 3/4 of an ounce, not barely anything. Okay. It's about 1/2 an ounce. I need to get this bain-marie of honey going before I end up at the lemon honey cake. Yes, I think that's good. Okay. God. Okay, that honey has warmed up a bit. That's good. Sugar. Yeah. Actually get some heat on it probably. Oh my god! My fingers are covered in honey. Oh, I want to lick my fingers. I'm really not gonna lick my fingers. Oh, didn't lick my fingers. Restraint. Fucking restraint. Oh my god. That was so hard. Like, literally. What's your drink of choice on a night out? I've never LARPed with you, Fiona. Seriously, dude. I've done shots with you. I've bought cider for you as well. Okay, 4 tablespoons of almond milk. Sambuca shots. Although that could be because we were at Ritual Noise last night, so I'm thinking about Sambuca shots. Go on, what is it? Okay, 4 tablespoons of almond milk. Yeah, so it's the lactose-free person that I'm doing this for. Normally you don't get nuts in my kitchen because I am allergic to them. Occasionally needs must. Okay, and then 7 ounces of melted butter, which is not going to be actual butter. It's going to be a lie. Such a lie. Okay. But I am going to melt it over a low heat. Just melt it and hope really at this point. It's not going to take very long to melt this, to be honest. 5. Okay. 7. Oh, vodka and Coke and absinthe with. Oh yeah, no. You have drunk at my house before now, haven't you? There was a meme going around Facebook, I think, a while ago, and it was all about just this picture overladen with booze, and somebody, and the meme was, tag whoever would have this table. Anyway, somebody tagged me, I think it was Kirsty, and I legit sort of had to go, wait, is that my house? Because it was a little accurate for, New Year's Eve and Mexican parties and whatnot. Just a little bit. Right, that's what I want. Okay. Shove these things in the wash, and then I'm waiting for that to do its thing. Probably want to have a check on the cakes that are in. It's probably a good plan. Okay, keep those in for a little bit longer. Right. They're not looking bad at all. They are not looking bad at all. Okay, so Lee, yeah, you live a bit far away. So next month is vanilla. If you have opinions on what you get, let me know. I have a feeling you've got some sort of dietary requirements. I can't remember what they are. So you might want to let me know that too. Although, if you do, maybe not on the YouTube chat. You probably want to let me know via an email, because if you do it on the YouTube chat, that's great. I love that, you don't mind letting internet strangers know your dietary requirements, but I'm never going to remember them. Okay, so we're waiting for butter to melt, and after that's done, we're going to do another loaf, because that is how I am rolling today, continually moving, always moving, trying to get honey to decrystallize. That is what we are doing today. Oh, that's nice, actually. That's kind of gone. That's good. Okay, we've got some weird things going on there. I'm trying to melt some marge in behind. Ah, that's looking good. And that's basically melted. Right. One of the things that I like to cook is, I think it's Virginian cornbread. It's a sweet cornbread. And the reason I think it's Virginian is because I'm pretty sure my mate Kat, who is from Virginia, taught me how to make it. Oh, there we go. And it's very similar to the oil cake that I'm going to be making pretty much the last bake today, which is the no refined sugar cake. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so the reason it's very similar is because you do this thing where you pay attention to how you're mixing liquid and dry. So as you've seen, most of the liquid has gone in here. So that's the honey, the milk, and the molten butter. Very, very strange texture. So nervous about this sponge, so nervous. Do not know how it's going to go. Okay, so we add that to the egg froth apparently. That frothing I am doing to these eggs. Okay, so because at this point with fine crumb sponges it's all about chemistry and like what you add and when, and if you've already mixed it together actually starts to matter way more than when I screaming my ratios licky sponge, which, you know, if you've got the equipment you can do an all-in-one. I don't know if you can do an all-in-one fine crumb cake. I suspect not. Right, I am actually going to zhuzh. I am hyper aware. As I said, I am hyper aware that it's the bubbles that's the important thing. And now I've got to fold this in. So I'm actually, I don't know whether I'm maybe involving myself in some magical thinking here. I might be. But I'm about to fold in the flour and zest. And I've gone and got myself a wooden spoon. Again, I have no idea if that's genuinely lighter to fold in things. God, I hate folding things in. So the idea of gently folding, and being very delicate with this, is that it keeps the nice air that we've just buzzed in. It's a baking technique that I am particularly shit at. see earlier comments about how I am a glumping sort of baker, not really a cook, to be honest. Oh. Yeah, it did look like my house, I know. Oh. Lee, if you're still in the feed, put in your thoughts about what you would like next month. If you are not on the feed, I will chase you up on Facebook at a later date. Okay, there we go. Right. The reason I hate folding is I find it so difficult to get a good consistency. I end up with lumps of flour. It's really delicate. Because folding, you're supposed to be really gentle so that you don't squish air bubbles and let they stay in. I just end up with goop wrapped around a lumpy flour. I'm trying to be so gentle. And like I said, I have no idea if actually a wooden spoon makes any difference whatsoever. Literally got no idea. But I would like to imagine that it did. I mean, I may well be imagining that it does. I have no idea, but I have just gone and got a wooden spoon to do this because that's what I think happens. And I'm just going to remember to get the other gluten-free buns out of the oven. Otherwise I'm going to have all my gluten-free people moaning. Okay, there we go. There's a whole heck of a lot of gluten-free and vegan buns over there. And after this tortuous process, I'm going to treat myself to a nice, simple loaves. Now, who have I got? I'm on 4 loaves now. Jono, Leslie, Jacob, and my mum. Oh. It's a shame Jono vanished because I wanted to check with him whether I should do him a gin and tonic loaf or not. Oh well. So I'm going to do the loaves in 2 lots. Normal lemon loaf for Jono and Jacob, and a gin and tonic lemon loaf for my mum and Leslie, because I think Leslie would appreciate a gin and tonic loaf, and it's not going to have too much gin in, to be honest, so I think Christopher could have a bit. Right, it is still looking frighteningly lumpy. Oh yeah, it's just, the problem with this folding technique is I end up with chunks of flour, and I'm trying to preserve like air bubbles. I end up preserving flour. Yeah, it's supposed to be really delicate. And it does look quite smooth in parts, actually. It's almost looking like a lemon curd in parts. Which is good. But then I don't know, do I just... Because the urge to get violent and just squish the goddamn lumps out of it rather than just keep gently folding and hope they fucking vanish is annoying, to say the least. I do think that the melted margarine, though, is definitely it's given an aroma and a texture to it, which I think is what we were going for. So that's good. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I'm going to have to ask somebody else also what to do about her bake for next month, because Kerry was saving it for next month because she prefers vanilla. She's moving to Orkney to take up a job there, which is pretty epic. So could try and post to Orkney. No, see a little tin, some cakes. I really want to visit Orkney, actually. Although, to be honest, I owe Jackie a visit. Jackie lives on one of the Western Hebridean Islands, and I've been intending to go and run her marathon. It's Jackie's personal marathon. The marathon that they run up there might be a half marathon, actually. It's a half marathon that's vaguely doable. An actual marathon might kill me these days. Oh God. I had a baking science. Yeah, right? Baking science of wooden spoons. I'm here for it. I had a mega uncomfortable realization the other day. So was home visiting my dad's grave, and I had happened to be talking to a bloke about the fact that, I have a bit of a thing for Scottish accents. And as we're walking down to my dad's grave with my mum and my nephews, my brother-in-law, and everyone, happened to have this conversation in my head because we had it the day before. And I passed my childminder and her husband, and I went bright red. And obviously, I wasn't even talking to someone, so I don't think anybody noticed it. But it was like sudden realization because her husband ran the youth club when I was a hormonal teenager, and I'm like, oh. He's Scottish, and he is, well, now he's an insane ultra runner, fell runner, but back then he was a marathon runner with a really nice arse, like really quite nice. And I'm like, oh, I have a feeling I know where my thing for Scottish accents came from. I was a hormonal teen, and there was a man with a really nice arse and a Scottish accent, and I think I just associated the two. Okay then. I mean, to be fair to the bloke, he must be late early 70s. He's a grandpa sort of age, if not literally. I can't remember whether his kids have kids. He's still got quite a nice ass. Not that I deliberately looked, but you know how you're thinking something and your eyes sort of, anyway. Yes, hormonal teenagers, we are so lovely, and then whatever we sort of leave our elder selves with from our teen years, it haunts you. Absolutely haunts you. Okay, so the texture of this is good. I just want to get the lumps out. It looks quite different to the texture of a Victoria sponge mix, unsurprisingly, because, and it does look, my French mum did some occasional baking while we were over there. Not a lot, but it does look a lot more like the sort of mixtures she would be using. I'm terrified that it's not going to be light enough. I want to get the lumps out. I don't mind the lumps that I'm sort of looking at and going, oh no, that's lemon zest, that's fine. But it's just the lumps of flour that I'm like, oh, get out. Fucking get out. What are you doing? God damn it. Flour lumps. I think last time I ended up actually doing silly voices, didn't I? I was like, oh yes, let me show you off my accents. Oh yeah, Danny was on the stream last time, encouraging me to do funny voices. Yeah. Oh. Yes. Random thoughts that come into your head while baking. It's a very meditative act. You end up thinking all sorts of stuff. I've already covered cultural appropriation, you know. Mish's philosophy tube. Oh God, who's the woman who does? Actually, she might be non-binary. The one who does the ContraPoints. Yes, ContraPoints. Eat your heart out. Mish's charity baking channel is coming for you. Yeah, not so much. Anyone tell me, is ContraPoints a woman, or are they non-binary, or something entirely else? Because I haven't watched enough ContraPoints to know. And I make a lot of mistakes when it comes to non-binary people, and gender fluid people, and gender queer people. And I'm sure there's probably somebody else as well that I make mistakes about. And I try and ask. It's really annoying because, like, on the internet ages and ages ago, you used to be able to genuinely ask questions. But now there's so many freaking trolls floating away from their natural bridge-like homes in 4chan that everyone assumes if you ask a question, you're doing so in bad faith, or you're sea lioning. And it's like, okay, I want to ask a question, but none of my friends know it. I mean, you could always like go on Quora. God, Quora is a terrible place. Yahoo Questions is a terrible place. People, you're the dregs of humanity. Oh. Tastes quite good. Okay, so that is going to chill for 20-30 minutes. Because, as Blumenthal would be saying, this really is all very chemical and chemical process and whatnot. Oh. Right. So, I'm going to do a little bit of a quick clean. And then I'm going to get on to my swampy loaves. Yes, swampy loaves. Nice and easy. Because this is backed for two. So let's go. Back to 442. I need to get the butter out of the fridge, which I probably should have done right at the start. My mind was too full of honey. Yeah. It's going to be 8884 because. Oh, there we go. And which should I make first? The gin ones or the not gin ones? Probably the gin ones, because let's keep the simple stuff for later on in the afternoon when I'm not even certain what my own name is. Where are we up to? We're up to 4 o'clock already. This is going to be a longer one, I think, than last month. That doesn't surprise anybody, right? Just me who's like, oh, it's going to take me longer. Shocking. I don't know if I'm going to manage to do all the bakes on the stream today. Haha! 8. So, we're on 884, so I need more caster sugar. Oh. probably will actually, I think. You might not get to see all the decorating. But we will see. Right, I think one of the big bags gone. Luckily, have no fear. The second bag is here. And it's going on the floor. Because if it doesn't, I will go mad. Okay, so we've not actually got that much. Let me just give it out. Okay, all right. There we go. So, 2 eggs, cream together. What do we reckon? Should we, tempted to see if the butter would actually, probably not actually. I probably don't mix it with the blender. I think that would go badly for everyone. But I am going to do it with my fingers a bit because heating it through, just getting it a little bit melty means it will mix a bit better. Oh, it's like crossing the streams, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I was sort of saying philosophy tube and thinking about ContraPoints. And like, yeah. Oh, God. Is ContraPoints controversial? Really, is she? No, some of her stuff is a bit too much to take, I find. Like, it's just really full on. And some of it is very cool. Certain people. Oh my God. Oh, hello, Tabby. Certain people live up to their names. Yeah. You are mimetic, my love. For you! Sorry, couldn't help. Cat go. Too many references. Too much obscureness. Although, that reference comes from a Something Positive cartoon, and the guy who writes the Something Positive cartoon did tell me at one point that I could have his children. So, you know. I've got it screenshotted as well. Like, oh my God, be careful what you say on the internet, people. I'm going to be a crazy old woman and come for his sperm and sue him for it.
Ah, you didn't say it had to be biological. I have heard of these vats. Now let the scientists mix my eggs and your semen, and we will see what they create. Ah, ah, ah.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know quite where I went there. It was somewhere quite disturbing. Sorry. Oh, people tell me things. And on the internet, when I can screenshot what they've told me, it's dangerous. So, a certain upcoming horror writer told me I could nick his ideas for games. Like, right, mate, when you've got a best-selling TV series. I have a feeling a screenshot of an ongoing Facebook conversation might not be enough there. I think Netflix's lawyers or whatever might get on to me quite sharpish if I attempted to, I don't know. What's the Polish place called that was Hogwarts but claiming not to be Hogwarts because it didn't want to pay Turfy McRolling? It was somewhere. Right, yeah. Right, so I'm creaming my butter and sugar as I am wont to do. And then I'm going to add my 4 eggs. Again, as I'm wont to do. And then I'm going to add some lemon zest, which gives the flavouring. Oh wow, I'm getting through these eggs. I mean, unsurprisingly, I'm baking. These are basically my mum and Leslie's loaves going in here. Okay. There's a lot of baking today. That's a lot more than there was last month, which is quite good, really. It is a good charity. Again, I remind you, we are doing this for charity. You have paid over the odds for your cooking, but you are doing so partly because I am creating such entertaining content. No, really, you're entertained. Are you not entertained? I look forward to juicy Neil Gaiman gossip. Now yes, you pay off the odds for the baking, but I provide this amusement for you and some background chatter for you Saturday. You get to see me knacker myself out, because that's always fun, right? I'm going to add some lemon to this as well as some zest. We'll make sure it tastes alright. And you know that you've done good things. Right, so I think I'm zesting 2 lemons for this. There is going to be a lot of lemon zest going on today. Alright, where did I put the wash it? There we go. Briefly couldn't see it. But I mean, I do wonder, to just circle back onto like science cooking and Heston Blumenthal and stuff. Like when you've got these sort of things that you eyeball, then how undo what? Like it's, I don't know. there's edges to that which can be considered a science, right? And it becomes an art. Or are you? Although I do know blokes, it's usually blokes who like measure everything and they don't eyeball stuff in the kitchen, which I always find a bit weird. Like, I don't mean blokes lacking in confidence either. I just mean that's how they cook. Everything needs to be neatly measured, very regimented, and that is not how I do things at all. Right, okay, gin. Okay, it's pink gin, but no, it's not going to hurt anything. Right, so I want 100 millilitres. Oh wow, really? Shit me! Really? That's a lot of gin. I'm sort of looking at this going, that's more gin than I anticipated. Oh, it's 4 ounces. Okay, that makes sense. This can be really liquidy. Haven't added the self-raising flour yet though, so. Right. Well, Leslie, I hope you like gin as much as my mum. Okay, it's actually, it did look a scary amount, but to be honest, that's not too bad at all. Okay, so next lot then. Eight ounces of self-raising flour. Right, okay, so it's pink gin I added, because that happens to be what I had in. It has actually added a slightly rose hue to the mixture, which is not bad, I think. Right, and now that I've added the flour, that scary amount of liquid that I did look sort of twice at and go, oh shit, really? Am I really adding this? Has, yeah. It's really, it's looking like cake mixture should, so I am relieved because it was a little bit nerve-wracking, to be honest with you. Okay. Right, so that is 2 lemon and gin drizzle cakes. Ready for the loaf tins that are somewhere. Wait, we did this last time, right? Oh. I need to have a little sort out of these cupboards. But today is not that day. Yes, tune in to the YouTube channel of Mish Goes Through Her Cupboards. Be fascinated and slightly bored as Mish goes through her cupboards for hours, possibly days. Alright, what I'm looking for is actually not in the right cupboard, but hey, we're all good. Right. Do. And then we're going to get the scary bit done. Muffins. Right, okay. So half of this goes into the tin now. Is that right? There we go. Go into the tin for later. The honey's looking pretty good. So I'm going to turn the heat off of it and just let it drip. Okay. Right, so now we are looking at moment of truth territory. Okay. Right, I'm going to use a spray oil because that's what keeps getting recommended in all the places that I look. One thing I didn't do was, I can't remember if I did it or not. I needed to check, because this is quite a tall tin. So I needed to check that it would actually come in. Right. Why, yes, I am a tad nervous about the special bake. Can you tell? Mold is greased up because the main thing that I am nervous about is obviously it sticking and not taking the form. The other thing I'm nervous about is that I've forgotten I've lost clips on this. So it's not as not airtight, but you know what I mean, as it used to be. Right, okay. Ignore that. Right, we've cooled it. Now we pour it. I'm silent with sort of like dread and oh my god, nerves. Okay, it's gone in. Right. Ah! That was the most nerve-wracking special bake yet. Okay, I've no idea if it's going to work. I don't know. Life is meaningless. Ah! Oh! Okay, that was scary and terrifying, and I never want to do that again. So I calm myself down with some buns, because, you know, why not? I suspect, given the amount that I'm doing, I'm probably going to end up baking the rest of the buns tonight, decorating the rest of the buns tonight. Because there's actually quite a chunk more than there were last month. No idea what next month's going to be. But I know a lot of people were sort of going, ooh, well, when are you doing lemon? Because apparently my lemon is good. Well, we'll see after this month, I guess, if my lemon is good or not.
Ah!
Oh, okay. So I quite like doing something new and different. I liked the texture on that mix. That looked funky and interesting. So that was quite good fun to do. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, I guess. I've no idea because it cooks quite quickly. It's cooked quite quickly. I've also got to try and leave it long enough that it actually cooks through. It's supposed to be like 15 minutes, whereas everything else is sort of more like half an hour. So I've got to sort of leave it long enough for it to actually attempt to cook, so not leave it too long and think that it's like one of my other cakes. So the nerves, you do not understand. Baking is an extreme sport. Oh, very extreme sport at times. Right. On the other hand, I am quite far through my bakes today, or I feel like I am. I'm possibly not as far through as I think I am, actually. Right, so let's do some buns. Whilst we're waiting for things to go through. Yeah, I'm going to do a variety of toppings, which I didn't really do last time. I got buns. Okay, content you pay for. Middle-aged woman slapping her own ass. Right. Okay. There we go. Okay. Buns. Yes, buns. Right. So. Okay, so I'm doing a chunk of buns. Yes, we're good. So we're going to do 8, 8, 8, 4. RuPaul. Although, I don't know if anybody watched RuPaul's Drag Race UK. Oh, God. Okay. One of the queens likes blue comedy. Of course, blue comedy on the BBC. Just a long series of beeps. I was like, mate. Oh, mate. Hilarious though that was. Oh. I imagine quite a lot of people want to see her live now. I hope she's got a YouTube channel. I don't think the cool people are on YouTube anymore, though. Hey. Give me my long, slow processes, god damn it. Yeah, I can tell when I'm mixing with actual butter. Question, or have I gone off? I don't know. I lost signal. Might have done. Don't know. I seem to be back. Okay. I don't know, my signal might... Alright, am I still up? Who knows? Okay, so... eggs, sugar, water, butter, no water. Lemon is what I meant. Butter. All good. Okay, so next, self-raising flour. So many buns, so little time. Okay, I can divide you up. So, right. This is my interesting different type of sponge thing. So, you over here. I want to clear the what's the name? I want to clear the bowl so I can use it to divide my bun mixture. Are you back? Am I back? Who knows? Yeah, I want to divide my bun mixture, so I'm going to attempt to do the very light Genoese buns and see what happens there. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Who knows? Right, so let's see how many Genoese buns we can get out of this little lot. Could be anything. Definitely could be anything. These are sort of almost madeleines, I guess. Madeleines generally come in that nice little tin, so they have nice little sort of conch shape. They look more sort of shell-like. You can dunk them in tea. Well, I don't know if you're supposed to dunk them in tea and coffee, but like, whenever I've been eating with French people, I have, so, you know. Could just be I've been with people quirky. When I was in Japan, my Japanese language teacher got hold of a whole load of English food. One night, she's like, "Oh, I'm going to treat you. It's going to be great." And she made us English tea, and she presented me and the other guy in her class, who was also a Brit, with some Cadbury's fingers. And we each reached out and got a Cadbury's finger and dunked it in our tea. And Izumi, my Japanese teacher, was looking at me horrified, going, "What? Is that a thing?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, alright." So obviously you dunk your biscuits in your tea. Oh, she was introduced to British tea ceremony. You give us chocolate biscuits and tea. We dunk. Oh, I'm glad I'm back. I suspect it was my connection rather than you. I suspect it could be anything really. I am pottering for a little while, you know. I don't know how well my connection holds up. I'm going to turn it round and have a little bit longer. I think it's because it's such a weird shaped tin. So a little bit longer. And I'm going to do thyme and poppy seeds. Because, you know, why not? Why not indeed? If everybody likes a bit of herb. It's not that sort of herb. Okay. Yeah, no, lemon's a really good base for like herby flavours in sweet things. Or I think it is at any rate. Got some thyme and some poppy seed ones then. To go with the sudden madeleines. I'm not sure even if I can actually call them madeleines because they're not in the right pans. So sudden Genoese buns. Let's do that, shall we? I really need to look up and check whether they count as Genoese or not. I do not know. The trays that I've got. Right, there we go. So we've got some lemon and thyme buns. Which, I mean, yeah, that's definitely a bit different. I think that's good. Oh, there we go. Oh, the smell of the lemon and thyme is just so nice. Oh, I'm very impressed with myself. I mean, it's entirely down to... Basically, I'm co-opting the fresh thyme as, like, my work. It's not even out my garden, I should hasten to add it. It's shop bought. But, smells so nice. Really fresh and lovely. Oh. Okay. That's that. So, now we've got the lemon and poppy. Look at my work, see mighty and despair. It's cooked all the way through. I won't be bake. You've heard me scream about a variety of different sorts of cake, so that's all you really want to do, right? I hope anyway. I'll babble on, keeping people company at a distance. Whatever you fancy. Oh, there we go. Pleased with using the poppy seeds, but they don't. The scent that the thyme has just isn't there with the poppy seeds, so I've not been shouting a colour boy. That's a 2/3 measure. I had 3/4. Okay. Yesterday. Is that 3/4? That's a cup. What's that then? There's also a cup. I have 2 cup measures. I'll clean these out because they've had refined sugar in. And the idea with this cake is no refined sugar because the last who it is for is cutting out refined sugar from my diet. And I happened to know a honey cake recipe that was close to my cornbread recipe. Well, not know it, but know it enough to go, I think I could probably do that. 3/4, there we go. They have the numbers for what they are written in the bottom, which is why I'm sort of peering into them going, what does that say? I assume you got that, but I thought I'd explain just in case, you never know. Right, yes, so I'm going to do a... it's not sugar-free because it's got honey in it, but it's refined sugar-free cake. But it's interesting because when you do oil cake, what's the point? Basically, I had a mate who I worked with as a cleaner at the uni. She had gorgeous jewellery. And she was like, yeah, I always used to be like, I'm saving it for a special occasion. And then it's like, well, okay, what special occasion am I saving? I don't know, maybe I'm a reincarnated soul from somewhere else, where lemons and ginger are in fact a staple part of any kitchen. Oh god. You know the whole kids and reincarnation thing? Like some people are like, oh yeah, no, sometimes kids are definitely reincarnated. One. Not quite two. And then the month after that, I think I'm doing fruit. So I think, because I was like, oh, I'll do some fruit. But actually, I think what I might do is I just do fruit. Then that can include fruit cake and tea loaf, as well as your more like strawberry shortcake and stuff like that. So that's the dry, and I need a pinch of salt, very dry ingredients that you're pouring it into so it can sort of adhere together and not get too wet and overwhelming. Is what I think. I could be well wrong. For Sans, which is definitely good. We're aiming for 500 by the end of June. I'm going to tip it upside down and hope that it emerges. Right. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream with the reveal of how this came out. It might look terrible. I don't know. I might not be able to get it open. So, is the special bake going to have been worth it this time? Oops, that's a no. Right, well, it's me doing some extra baking later on today then. Okay, but I think I'm going to end the stream now so I can have a bit of a sit down, get the buns out of the oven, and do some repair work later. Okay, bye bye.